We're going to be working on hips today. And if anybody has ever had hip surgery, or you maybe without hip surgery, the hip is a ball and socket joint. So my friend here is going to just show you. You have, yeah, the leg probably does come, it does. You've got the abductor muscles, which pull your leg out to the side, and then the adductor, ADD which brings your leg back into the middle. And then the other thing, you can go forward and then you go backward. All these are hip flexor muscles, and they include your gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. The medius is above the gluteus maximus, and the minimus is underneath. And the piriformis muscle that we talked about last week or the week before, which goes right under the gluteus maximus and crosses over the all-important piriformis muscle, which gives us problems sometimes when we don't stretch it enough. So that's what we're doing today. And I'll try to point out to you some of the muscles that we're working on as we go through our practice. So let's sit up tall, close your eyes, and focus on breath. Start with your normal breathing, just get a breath awareness going. And then bring that breath all the way down into the belly. And practice several rounds of your deep belly breathing. And then we'll work on some breath retention with prolonged exhalations, Rachaka. Rachaka breath is prolonged exhalations. So the pattern will be inhale on a count of 4, very deep, long. Hold for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 8. Hold for a count of 2, and then inhale for a count of 4. So it's a lopsided box here, 4, 4, 8, and 2. Go at your own pace. You're going to find that you have to take really big inhalation on the 4 count in order to retain the 4 and exhale for 8. And if it doesn't work for you, you can change the ratio. By prolonging the exhalation, it has a calming effect on the nervous system, reduces anxiety and stress. And the breath retention in between just helps you be able to inhale more and exhale more. Okay, take one final round of your deep box breath, your lopsided box breath, and then bring your breathing back to normal. And then please, let's take a deep breath together and Om in. Om. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. Okay, thanks for being here. We're going to continue our breathing. Let's switch the cross of our legs and we continue our breath while we open up our shoulders. This is called the circle of joy breath. Let's lace your fingers together, tuck your chin, push your spine backwards like a cat back, tuck your tailbone under, and then inhale as you bring your hands up toward the ceiling, and then flip your palms upwards. Take a deep breath, and then exhale, bring your arms down, clasp your hands behind you. Inhale as you pull your chest up and your hands away from your back. And then exhale as you bring your arms back forward. And then clasp your fingers together again. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone once more. Reach all the way up as you inhale. Flip the palms up. Exhale, release the hands, bring the hands behind your back, place the fingers, pull your hands away as you push your chest up to the ceiling. And then release the hands and let them float back in front and then down into your lap. Now take whatever thumb's on top and change so the opposite thumb's on top. So you're going to release your hands. And now inhale as you push forward, tuck your chin, push your back out. When you get to the top, push your hands up. Exhale, let go. Clasp your fingers behind you, rethread for the opposite thumb being on top. Pull your hands away, pull your shoulders down from your ears, chest up, inhale. Exhale, release, bring your arms forward, lace your fingers, opposite thumb on top, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, push your back out the back door as you inhale, reach up, flip your palms up. Exhale, release, lace your hands behind, opposite thumb on top, pull your hands away from the back, lift your chin, open your chest as you inhale. And then exhale, arms come back together and then into prayer position in your heart center. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, let your right hand float down beside the hip. Left arm comes beside the ear. Push the left shoulder back and just allow your left ribs to open. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, hand float down. Inhale, open arms in a T. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes to that thigh, right hand behind. A couple of deep breaths here. Push your right shoulder back and think about your left ribs coming over. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Bring your hands to heart center and namaste. Inhale, push up. Exhale, left hand floats down, right arm beside the ear. Push the right shoulder back, look up. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, open arms in a T. Exhale, twist, left, right hand comes to the left leg, left hand behind, and then continue to twist. One more breath, and then come back to center. Okay, and then come seated come off your bolsters and come seated on to your bottom with your feet, knees bent and feet wide apart on your mat. And then take a deep breath. As you exhale, allow your knees to fall to the right. And then come back to center. And then fall to the left. And then come back to center. Windshield wipering back to the right. and back to the center, and windshield wiping back to the left, and then back to the center, and windshield wiping back to the right. Now pause here. Okay, and now pick up your left hand and bring it around your body and place it next to your right hand, which is on top of your right thigh. And then you're gonna walk your hands more to the right so that you're turning your body away from you, and then come on down to your forearms, and you can rest your head on your hands or on a bolster or a block here, and just relax here while you stretch open your hip. This is a sleeping deer pose. And push back up, and then slowly bring your left hand back around, come back to your seated position, let the knees fall to the left, pause here for a couple of breaths. So you want your right knee to be somewhere near your left heel. And then you're going to pick up your right hand, bring it beside your left hand above your left leg, and then keep on walking to the left as you twist your body. Go only as far as your body allows, and then float on down to your forearms and rest your head on your hands or something. And then upright, push up, come back to center, and then come seated on your bolster again or blanket, and grab your strap. And start in Dandasana, staff pose. Make sure your pelvis is tilted forward. Got a neutral lower spine. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. Open the chest. Exhale, bring them down. And once more, could bring them up and then back and then down and then forward, up, back and down, and then pause here. Keep your feet flexed and breathe, thinking about the crown of your head going up to the ceiling. Bring your belly towards your spine. Bend your right knee. Bring your sole of your right foot inside of your left leg. Turn your torso so it's facing over your left leg, and here's where you can use a strap if you like to lasso around your left foot. So you're twisting your body slightly so that it's over the left leg, and you're coming from the hip crease, and you use the strap as leverage to let your chest melt forward. Try to keep the long spine. Think about not collapsing your lower back. So if you imagine even arching your lower back, you'll feel a stretch. You won't be able to arch your lower back very much doing this, but if you imagine it, then you'll have the right idea for where your back should be in this, which is neutral. A slight pelvic tilt forward. And then relax into this stretch. This is big on the hamstrings. So we're doing double duty here. We're stretching the left hamstrings while we're stretching the right hip flexors. Try to keep your head in line with the spine. Don't allow your chin to drop. Think about line from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Okay. Come back up. And we'll switch legs. Extend the right leg. Left foot comes in. Strap loops over the foot. And then before you even come forward, tilt the pelvis forward. Think about your crown reaching up, your spine is long, turn your body a little bit to the right and then come forward. Keeping that long spine, keep that pelvic tilt forward. Imagine that you're arching your lower back, even though you're not going to be. And then you'll feel a stretch there. Keep the head in line with the spine. Relax into this stretch. And then slowly come up, release your strap. And now we're gonna bring both legs in a V, wide. And if your heels are bothering you, you can stick like a blanket or a pad underneath your heels. Or what I do, just turn sideways on my mat, let my heels stick on my mat. All right, so this is Upavista Konasana. Feet are up and flexed. Knees are up and flexed, not locked, straight but not locked. Pelvis is tilted forward. Chest is open, hands at your hips. Upavista Konasana. So now lean forward from your hip crease. You don't have to come very far, but just come as far as you can without collapsing your back. And then you can bring your hands in front for support. And you can even use a block here for support. And then relax here, keep your feet pointed up. So the tendency is you're gonna wanna roll your legs outward like that. So you wanna keep your knees up and your feet up in this pose. And then come forward from the hips with a nice long spine. Drag your heels towards you slightly so the muscles in your legs are engaged and you're not locking, it prevents you from locking your knee out that way. And once again, try to keep your head in line with the spine. Don't drop your chin. Nice long neck. Okay, slowly back up, upright. Now bend your knees, walk your feet in, and then bring the soles of the feet together. And then grab your ankles or your shins with your hands and bring the heels in toward your groin area as far as they'll go. And then use your hands as leverage to pull your chest forward and up and tilt your pelvis forward. And then just allow gravity to open your groin area. Now, if you can open your feet like a book, pages of a book. So the soles are pointing upward instead of together. That's not possible for some people to do, so that's okay. So the muscles that you're probably feeling here are your adductor muscles. Those are the muscles that are the inside of your leg. The adductor, I think it's longus, magnus, and I think it's brevis, longus, and magnus. Now bring your knees slowly together and hop off your bolster, and we'll try something here. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we're going to try it anyway. And then walk your feet back towards your midline. And then take your hands and grab the outsides of your feet. All right. And then from here, you're going to want to rock back, engage your belly muscle so you feel like you're balanced on your tailbone. Okay, and maybe this is all you want to do right here. Or maybe you can straighten one leg. And then maybe you can straighten both legs. Good, you guys. But your arms aren't long enough, I know, but. And then just breathe. Good, yeah. It is balance. It's definitely a balance. Okay, now without hurting yourself, see if you can come forward holding your feet. It may not be, don't hurt yourself doing this. Okay, very good. And then come back upright. Walk your feet in. And now bring your knees bent again, feet pointing away from you. I'm going to give you some options here. Have your blocks handy. So before I give you some options, here's something that's not optional. We're going to lean back on your forearms and take your right ankle over the left thigh. Okay. Now from here, you could stay here if you like, or prop up onto your hands with your fingers facing towards your feet. And then if you can stay here, or you can pick up your bottom and move it closer to that foot. And if you do this, wherever you are, keep the top foot flexed so that you're protecting your knee. Your fingers should be pointing forward so that you can open your chest while you're doing this. Keep your neck long. Okay, and then unwind, come back seated with your knees bent. Now here are the options for you. Option number one, take your blocks behind you, right behind you, past your hips, place your hands on the blocks pointing towards your feet. And then, or maybe we all should just do this together. This is option number one. Let's try this. So we're just going to push into the blocks and come into a reverse table. The blocks are there just to help elevate the body a little bit. Okay, and then come on down. So option number two is to do the same thing without blocks. So it's your choice. You can keep the blocks, stay at option one. Option number two is to do the same thing without the blocks, and your fingers are pointing forward, your chest is open, shoulders are back, and then you're pushing your tailbone forward and up. And then come down. And then only do is what you can here. So option number three is to take your ankle onto the left thigh again. Place your fingers behind you, pointing toward your feet, and then you're going to lift up into your three-legged table. So take any or none of those options. Good. And then all the way down, uncross. Come forward for just a moment, hug your knees into your chest. And then come back onto your forearms behind you. Take your left ankle onto your right thigh. And then pause here for a moment, pushing your left leg away, flexing the left foot. And then come up to your hands if you want to, or stay on your forearms, as long as you feel a hip opening. So these are this is your piriformis muscle that you feel, your glute muscles here. Keep on picking up your foot or picking up your bottom to get closer to your foot. Keep the foot flexed. Stay here for a couple of breaths. This is really good for your sciatica, preventing sciatica pain. Okay, and then uncross. And then we're going to come into the reverse table again. Your choice, with blocks, without blocks, or with the leg crossed, okay? So take your pick, or we can do all three if you like. And then when you're ready, come into your reverse table. And then come on down. Good. Uncross and roll your spine, hug your knees. Now, sit up again with your knees bent, and you're going to grab behind your thighs and pull your chest forward and up and your shoulders back and down. So use your hands as leverage to get a nice long spine, the crown of your head going up. Now, rock back onto your sit bone, lift your feet, let go of your legs, and now you're going to tuck your chin and round your spine as you roll down and push your lower back into the mat. And breathe. Make sure you push your low back into the mat. This is a very abdominal intense exercise, low boat. And then bring your feet down, bring your head down, and mini shavasana. Now here's how we're going to get up from our mini shavasana. Going to bend your right knee, clasp your fingers behind your right thigh, and then you're going to push your thigh away from you and pull your torso up. Yep, push your right thigh away from you into your hand and pull your, yep, just like that. And then come back upright, back to our starting position. Regain the length of your spine by pulling up behind your thighs, shoulders back, neck nice and long. Lift your feet, rock back onto your center of gravity. Now here's where you're going to tuck your chin and round your spine and slowly come on down to your low back. Push, keep your shoulders up, push your low back into the mat. Look at your feet. Now, if your low back is popping off the mat, just lift your feet higher, okay? Because the lower your feet go, the harder it is to keep them there. Keep your back on the mat. Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. And then come all the way down, mini shavasana. Okay, this time left knee bends into the chest. Clasp your hands behind your left thigh so that you can push your leg into your hands and come up to seated. Back to staff pose. And then bend the knees one more time. We're going to go down once more. So curl your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone under, rock back, push your low back into the mat. Your feet can come higher than eye level or lower. No matter what you do, keep that low back from buckling upward and breathe. Push the low back into the mat, but you're really using your belly muscles here. Good, one more breath. And then bend your knees, hug them into your chest. Oh. Roll around the spine. And then roll over onto one side or the other to come into table with your padding underneath your knees. Flat back table. Inhale, exhale, bring your bottom toward your heels. Inhale, back up to table. Exhale, push into your cat back. Tuck the toes, tuck the chin, push the spine up to the ceiling. And then inhale, uncurl your toes, drop your belly down, arch the back, push your shoulders to the back of the mat. And then long exhale all the way back to your heels. Inhale back to table. And once you're in your square table, walk your hands one hand length towards you. So your pointer, your tips of your fingers are going to be where your palm was, your wrist palm was. So you're shortening the distance between your knees and your hands. So this is a narrow cat-cow pose. It's going to look the same, but feel a little bit different. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, tuck your toes, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and really push the mat away, pushing your spine up to the ceiling. And then inhale, drop the belly down, uncurl your toes, push your chest forward. Shoulders get pushed to the back. And then come back to a flat back. Walk your hands forward as far as they'll go. You might want to walk your knees back some so your hands can stay on the sticky mat. And we're going to come into puppy pose, melting our chest down toward the mat. Our head's going to melt between the arms, fingers wide. And then squeeze your forearms toward each other so you can feel your shoulders roll out. Keep your hips way up in the air, puppy pose. Walk your hands back in. Come back to table. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Okay, take a deep breath. Exhale, we're gonna kick our right knee out to the side, dog leg. Keep the leg bent. Okay, good. And then we're gonna bring the knee in without touching down and keep the knee bent and kick the foot up behind you like a donkey kick with bent knee. So the sole of your foot is pointing to the ceiling, good. And then come back in without touching and then out again to the side, dog leg. And then in, and then donkey kick back up, so foot flexed. In, dog kick out, in, donkey kick up, foot flexed, in, dog kick out, in, donkey kick up, in, dog kick out, straighten the leg, and bring the foot down so that's lined up with your knee. Good. Walk your hands to the left, line up your left hand with your left knee, and then bring your other arm to 12 o'clock. See if the palm can face forward. Yeah, more forward. Thumb up, thumb toward the ceiling. Yeah, good. Now, try to keep the shoulder back. And if your shoulders allow, bring the arm beside your ear and reach the fingertips. Try to keep the shoulder back. So it's better to keep the shoulder back and your arm up than to bring your arm over and have your shoulder come forward. Does that make sense? So even if you have to keep your arm at 12 o'clock, keep your shoulder back. Okay, now, wherever your arm feels comfortable, say it's at 12 o'clock, move your left hand out so that you have leverage to lift your right leg. Okay, so this is a half moon, kneeling half moon. Take a deep breath. Exhale, dip your foot down and then lift it back up. All right, so this is working your adductor muscles. Dip down and back up. Those are the muscles on the outside. Down and up. These are your gluteus muscles as well, your piriformis. Down and then up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and stay down. Good. Bring your hand down in front of you, walk around facing the front, and then bring the knee in, back to table. Inhale, exhale, dog leg out to the left. Inhale back into center. Exhale, kick back, donkey kick, foot flex, pointing to the ceiling. Inhale down, back down without touching. Exhale, dog leg. Back in, donkey kick out. Back in, dog leg. Back in, donkey kick. Back in, dog leg. Back in, donkey kick. Back in, dog leg, and pause here. Straighten the leg. Bring the foot down, line it up with your knee. And then walk your hands to the right here. And then bring your left arm up to 12 o'clock. Now, another thing here, if you want to use a block to elevate your body, you can do that. There's no cheating in yoga, so if that helps your shoulders or helps your balance at all, it's okay to do that. Now, only if you can keep your shoulder back, just bring your arm closer by your ear. If your shoulder comes forward by doing that, it's better to keep it back and open. Okay, bring your hand back to 12 o'clock, or if you prefer, you can rest your hand on your hip, wherever is comfortable to you, because we're going to do our leg lifts here. So move your right hand out so you have enough leverage to lift your left leg up and then down, up and then down, up and down, up, down, up, down, again, down, again, down, and once more, and then down. Bring your hand down, walk your hands back forward, and then come back into table. Okay. Get your blocks handy in your table pose here. And then bring your right foot up between the blocks. And then walk your foot forward about another foot length, and then rebend that knee so that your right knee is directly over the ankle. Your left quad feels stretched here. And then get light in your fingertips. And we'll come into our Anjani Asana here. So think about squaring the hips forward. Your left hip's coming forward. The right hip is going back into the hip socket. Palms facing each other. Chest wide. Look up. Push your tailbone down. Your tailbone down to the back heel. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down. And then move your hands to the inside of that leg. You can use blocks here or not. Walk your foot out a little bit to the side, and we're going to come into lizard pose. So this is where you can stay up on blocks. You can stay up on your hands. You can come down onto your forearms, whatever is comfortable for your hip. This is a big hip opener. You want a wide angle in your bent knee. You want your foot at least even with your head or forward of your head. And you want your knee someplace near your shoulder. And again, you can stay up on hands here. You can come up on blocks here, whatever is comfortable for you. It's a big hip stretch. All right, slowly come back up. Walk your foot back in. And then bring your foot back to table. And bring the opposite foot up between your hands or blocks. Walk your left foot forward, another foot. Rebend the knee. Bring your right hip forward, left hip back so that your hips points are evenly forward, and come into your Anjani Asana on this side. Pad your knee as necessary here. Engage your belly muscles, open the chest. If you have balance, look up. Breathe. Think about pushing your right hip forward. Keep the chest nice and open. One more breath here. And then bring your hands down. Come to the inside of this leg. Walk the foot out slightly and come into your lizard pose on this side. Onto your forearm. Stay up on your hands. Come on down to the blocks. Come on down to the mat. Your choice. Keep a wide angle in the bent knee, and the knee is someplace near the shoulder. Okay, slowly push up. Walk the foot back in. Okay, from here, you can use blocks here if you like on either side of the foot. Tuck your right toes underneath and lift your right knee so that you're in a high lunge. Think about your spine being nice and long from the crown of your head to your heel. Your front knee is above the ankle. Okay. Shift your weight so that you can bring your right foot up next to your left foot so you're in a forward fold. Pause here. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, step your left foot way back so that you come into a high lunge on this side. And I say way back because you want to go back far enough so that you can get a long line from the crown of your head to your heel. Lift the quads up and level your hips. The front knee should be over the ankle. Okay, now we're going to shift our weight forward as we bring our left foot up next to the right foot. Back to our forward fold. Hang here for a breath or two. And then very slowly come up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then pause in Tadasana. Mountain pose. Allow your body to have active rest. Line up the spine, head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hips over the heels. And now we'll come into our one-legged balance. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here. So we've warmed up our hips. We're going to come into a chair balance, a one-legged chair balance. So here's one option. One option is just to bring your ankle onto your thigh, sit into a chair, and then do anything you want with your hands. You can even hold on. You can bring your hands to prayer position. Or I'm going to give you this option because I know Heather likes it. So Heather, watch me. This is what we're going to do for you. We're going to take the opposite hand, hook it, the forearm inside this foot, and then the other arm is going to go out to the side and stretch open while you balance. This is called the twisted one-legged chair. Ekapada Parivrtta Uttanasana. Oops, it's okay. Oops, it's okay. There you go. Yeah. So you use the pressure of the hand. Good, Betsy. Against the foot to open. You're stretching open and using the leverage of the foot against the hand. Good. That's really good. Good. Excellent. That's really good. Okay, I'm very, very proud of everybody here. Good. Let's switch sides. Ekapada, one-legged. Parivrtta means twisted. Utkatasana means chair pose. So switch to your other side, find your focal point, squat down, do whatever you need to balance. And when you're ready, you can hook your forearm inside the foot and reach behind you and open the chest. And if you dare move your gaze, move the gaze. Good. That's a hopping chair pose. Actually, that's a good save. That's a really good save. That's hard to do. A hopping one-legged chair. That's really hard to do. Good. All right, everybody have enough fun with that? Okay. Yeah, that's why I did it for you today, especially for you, because I remembered that you liked it. All right, let's come back to our mats. Blocks handy by side our feet and come to Tadasana, mountain pose, and reset everything. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into your chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, hands on your thighs, straighten your legs, shoulders back, L-shaped body. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold, all the way down, hands either on blocks or on the mat beside your feet. Take your left hand onto your right ankle. Start with both knees bent, and then open your right arm to the side as you straighten your right leg. Keep the left knee bent. And then that hand comes down. Arms come forward, come back into chair pose. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands on thighs, flatten the back, shoulders to the back, head forward. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, bring hands all the way down to the mat or on blocks. Keep the knees bent. Take the right hand onto the left ankle or calf, and then left arm goes out to the side as you straighten the left leg. Keep the right knee bent. And then that arm comes down, and then step back to your downward facing dog. And knees come down and sit back towards your heels into child pose. Okay, please push up and come onto your backs with your head facing toward me and grab a block. And we'll do our delicious sacrum on the block. You can keep your feet on the mat in a supported bridge if you like, or let your legs float up, whatever you choose. Okay, slowly, please lower your legs. Lift your hips, remove the block. Bring your arms in a T, palms facing up, and we'll finish up with a nice, gentle torso twist. Take a deep breath as you pick up your bottom, lift it 2 inches to the left and let your knees fall to the right, and then look to the left. Head comes back to center, knees comes back to center, hips come back to center, and then pick up your bottom, move them 2 inches to the right, and knees fall to the left, head turns to the right. Okay, head comes back to center, knees come back to center, hips come back to center, and then bend both knees into your chest and hug them in, roll around on your spine. And then please prepare for Shavasana. So now, if you were here last week, I suggested that you put something underneath your knees during Shavasana to support your back. So if you'd like to do that again, you can take a rolled up blanket or your bolster. If you were comfortable with that last week, it'll work just as well today. It just takes a little bit of pressure off your back. And then focus on your breath. Slow down your breathing. Relax your legs. Relax your chest. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Unclench your teeth. Relax your cheeks and your eyes. Slow down your breath. Let your thoughts float by like fluffy clouds. Please bring your awareness back to your breath. Deepen your breathing as you make small movements to gently wake up your body. And then please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And please, very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. And then please join me with the closing chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to the Cat Rock Yoga class and to the inner teacher. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Knuckles to my forehead honors God. Knuckles to my chin honors you. Knuckles to my heart honors myself. Namaste. And Jai Yogis. Jai, Jai, Jai.